Welcome to DataPencil.
Hello everyone, welcome to day 6 of our 50-day SQL practice challenge. Today we are going to deal with outliers. What are outliers, how to treat them, we will all see. So let's begin. Firstly, let's create our day 6 file, okay, and then we will discuss everything step by step. So day 6.SQL. Now, we have to write use 50 days SQL challenge. So first question comes that what is an outlier? Suppose we have a column called scores, and in this scores column we have some scores. Now the scores are suppose 38 runs, okay, 99 runs, 85 runs, 54 runs, and then there is 179 run, and then 1 run, okay, and then 65 run. Okay, suppose we have these values. Now you can see that here 179 is way greater than other values, right? The same way this 1 is also way lesser than other values. So these two values will be called as an outlier. Alright. So at the highest side extremist or outlier is 179, and at the lowest side the extremist or the outlier is 1. Okay, these are called outliers. Now, how to find outliers and how to treat them, we will see everything one by one. I am not going to do much calculations and make it more tough for you. I am going to make it as simple as possible. We can deal these outliers with calculations as well, okay, but I'm not going to include tough calculations here so that you will not get demotivated and get out of the track. Alright, so let's begin. Firstly, detect the outliers one by one. So this is our performance table. Here we have already seen the invalid data. There is no scope for any outlier. Then come to this salaries part. Here we can detect outlier, okay. If suppose salary is in the range of 50,000 to 5 lakhs, but if there is any value which is greater than even 1 crore, then we will consider it as an outlier. Okay. Now, for this salary table, we have to be careful. And then in the attendance, it all seems good. In this employees table, we already treated this age column, so there is no need to find the outlier. And in this department table also, no outlier will exist. So basically we have to deal with this salary column. Okay, so let's begin. But before that, we have to firstly change the data type. Remember, while creating the table, we fix the data type as varchar, correct? But here, as some calculations will come, so we cannot do the calculation with the text values, string values, okay? If salaries will still in the varchar in the string format, then we cannot do any calculation. So for that, we firstly have to change the data type to the integer. So let's do it, and for that we have to use the alter table. Salary is in which column? It is in clean salaries column. Okay, and here we have to modify salary as an integer data type. This is it. Now let's run it. Now this data type is changed. Now how can we detect the outlier? First of all, let's see one thing which is called basic understanding. In this part, what we are going to do, we are going to find the minimum value, then maximum value, and then the average value. Okay, see guys, suppose the scores minimum value is 1, maximum value was 179, okay, and the average value is somewhere 55, okay. So it means the majority of the data is roaming around this 55, correct? But if it is showing 1 here and it is showing 179 as maximum value, it means there is a chance that outliers exist here. You agree? Because majority of the values will roam around this 55, 45, 55, 48, 65, 70. Okay. So now what we will do, we will find the minimum, maximum and the average value. Okay. So that we can get the rough idea about it. And for that we have to write select. Okay, what we have to select, we are going to use minimum function on salary column as min salary, then maximum function on salary column as max salary, and then average salary as average salary. Okay, from our cleaned salaries table where salary is greater than 0. All right, now let's run it and see. Salaried. Cleaned salaries. Miss the comma, guys. Okay, now let's run it again. So here you can simply see that the minimum salary is somewhere 30,108 and maximum salary it is 1 crore 11 lakhs 12,384. Okay, and the average salary is 1,19,213. So average salary is 1 lakh, maximum is 1 crore and minimum is 30,000. So it's directly showing that there are outliers. Now how to flag the outliers, this is the important thing. Means whose salary is written incorrectly. So to flag such employee IDs or salary IDs, we have to ask the client that what is your minimum salary and the maximum salary as per your data. Okay, because you are the owner, so you should know what the minimum salary you are giving and what the maximum salary you are giving. So they will basically provide you the minimum salary and then the maximum salary. Okay, so as per the client rule, maximum salary is 2 lakhs and minimum salary is 20,000. Okay, now they have given you simply the minimum salary and the maximum salary. Now it's your job to flag the employee IDs. Okay, how can you flag? See, so for that you have to add one extra column. Okay, one extra column, and the name of that column will be is this outlier or is outlier. If it is an outlier, then write here 1, and if it is not an outlier, then write here 0. Okay, so in the end, by giving the condition where outlier is 1, we will get all those values that are flagged. Okay, so let's write and then you will get the idea. So we will use alter table for that. Which table we want to alter? Cleaned salaries table. Okay, here you have to add a column called is outlier and the data type is integer. Okay, now let's run it. Now here let's check whether our added column is visible or not. So this is the salaries table, and here you can see that is outlier is here and it is currently showing the null value. So now we have to fill these values with 1 or 0. So how to fill the values? We have to write update the cleaned salaries table where you have to set is outlier. Okay, case when salary is lesser than 20,000 or salary is greater than 2 lakhs. Okay, then return 1. What happened? Then 1, else 0, and end it here. Fine. So now let's run it firstly and then we will filter the outliers where value is showing 1. Okay, so it's successfully done. Now if you want to see whether it is showing 1 or 0 or not, so you can check. So you can see it is showing 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Now let's see. Now let's simply filter the outlier which is showing 1. Okay. So for that we will write select all from cleaned salaries table where is outlier equals 1. Correct, guys. Now let's simply run it. So see here, you can see that outlier it is showing for the salary ID 17, employee ID 35, salary ID 37, employee ID 262. Okay, so now we simply have to correct these values. Again, you have to give this data to your client and they will provide the correct value because it may be a data entry mistake or something else. So this job is not yours to decide the salary of their employees. Okay, this thing they will provide and then you have to replace it. How to replace it? I already showed so many values, how to replace them. So I'm sure that you can do it on your own. Okay, guys. So this is your job to replace these salary values with the appropriate value. With what value you have to replace this thing you will get in the PDF. Alright, guys. So this is it for today's video. See you tomorrow with our day 7 and it will be definitely one more interesting day. So take care, guys. Keep practicing and bye-bye.